So you're a lazy piece of shit, right? You don't know if you're probably using a bunch of Filipino VAs already, paying them $3 an hour. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use AI to save you a bunch of time and make you a bunch more money. I'm going to jump straight into it. And the first thing you can do with AI, we've tried to do this, it's kind of bullshit. I'd rather have a normal model. But if you're a massive virgin and you can't get a first model, or you don't want to buy one, you don't want to do all this bullshit, you can, and you don't want to deal with clients. Like, there's a bunch of benefits and there's a bunch of negatives, like anything. But with that, you can get an AI model, you can create it, or you can pay someone on Fiverr to create it for you. You can generate basically a fake girl. And I'll just show you a quick example of what I mean. So right here, you can see this account. This is not a real person. You can see in the bio, AI influencer, all this bullshit, and all these pictures, I know they look real, especially if you're like a 50-year-old man, you're going to think, oh, she's real, like, this can't be fake. But this is all fake, this is all bullshit, and this account's at 300,000 followers. So like, okay, cool, I've got an Instagram, and I've built it, I've created this fake AI model. It's pretty easy to do, just generate the pictures like that, post them. A bunch of losers will go on there and be like, oh, she's so hot, follow. The basic stuff. But what they've done here is they've got a link tree in the bio, like a normal OF model. And on here, if you go to me, myself, and I, and you go through here, it gives me a sensitive content warning. Can you guess what it is? I'll show you in the next slide. So they're funneling the traffic through the link tree from the Instagram all the way over to FanView. And FanView is basically OnlyFans, but you don't need to verify yourself. You can just have a page. So this page, it's got 400 pictures, 2 videos, 24,000 likes. And what they've got on here, they'll have chatters like a normal OF girl, and they'll just be selling AI generated content. So it works just like any other page, and it can be very profitable. And if you don't have a client, you can jump straight in, make your own model, and scale it up from there. So that's the first thing you can do with AI. There's a bunch of people on Instagram. You go on Instagram, there's a bunch of guys saying, oh, I'm making 100,000 with AI models. If it's true or not, I don't know, but you can experiment with that. That's like the first big thing you can do with AI. Now, if you do have current clients, what you can do, or if you don't have current clients, even this one, I'm jumping ahead of myself, you can make contracts. So you just literally head into ChatGPT, give it the prompt here, you can pause the screen, read this. Whatever specifics you need, you can just type it to ChatGPT. It's gonna be smarter than you. It's gonna go away, make a contract. And when the girl gets the contract, it's not gonna be like some 20-year-old kids wrote it for them. It's going to be like a professional has wrote this contract. And I'll show you an example of what it made for us. So you can see here, model contract template. And it's got all the professional bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And you can send this over using DocuSign, they can sign it, and then you've actually created a real contract that they have signed, and you are both binded to. So super easy way, instead of being like, going on YouTube videos, how do I make a contract for blah, blah, blah. Just get ChatGPT to do it. They're going to do it better than you. They're going to do it faster than you. So save you a bunch of time, and the girls will think you're way more professional than you actually are, so that's always great. Now for the outreach, we figured this out like a week ago. What you can do when you're sending all these DMs, and usually you get pretty bad responses. You'll send a DM, whatever your outreach method is, whatever you're doing, they'll be like, oh, I don't need your management. Who do you think you are? I'm not giving you any of my revenue. What you can do here is just screenshot your DM on your phone, send the exact image to ChatGPT. Maybe you have to give it a few prompts like, I don't know, give me a reply that sounds professional and know where you go, blah, blah, blah. Give it to ChatGPT, what should I say? It'll give you a response. And then whatever response you have, you can say, make this more personal, make this less cringy, make it more formal, any of that stuff. And it's going to give you a better response than you can probably think of, especially if you're a new person. If you've never done outreach before, if you've no sales experience, this is the way to go. Just use ChatGPT. It's going to be smarter than you. It's going to be better than you. And you'll save a bunch of thinking time. So you can just plug it in. We've already booked 2 calls using this method, using AI. Try it if you want. If you don't, fine, but you're missing out. Now, content creation. Instead of hiring, especially if you start out, if you have no editing experience, if you don't know where to find good editors, if you don't know where to find cheap editors, we actually have a really good editor that's in Hungary, does a great job, doesn't cost a ton. But if you're a new agency, you don't want to edit, you don't have any editing experience, you can create a sort of like podcast, anything like that, fake podcast. Just set the girl up, good lighting, mics, you can see this pitch here. You can have them set up in a setting that looks like this. I know it's fresh and fit, but you can have them set up in a fake setting like this. And you can either ask them a bunch of questions, that's what we do, we just get a list of questions, kind of talk to them. I'll just go through, like, do basically literally a fake podcast with them. I guess it's a real podcast in that case. And once you have all these clips, you can get the long clips, plug them into this AI here, OPS clip. It's going to go away. It's going to add captions, B-roll, all of this. It's going to turn it into a bunch of clips, and you can go and post these clips Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anything like that. Get a bunch of views, and you haven't spent 3 hours editing all the clips. So if they don't go viral, you can just make more. And the last one, I'm going to give one example, but there's hundreds of examples you can do for this. When you're doing OFM, I know a lot of you guys, you're probably not very organized, are you? You've got like folders here, you've got random shit, you're just messaging people for the schedule. So for general organization, you can just, if you don't want to spend ages like making a table, plugging all the names in, you can do this for calculating pay as well, that's another big one. But if you don't want to work out a bunch of scheduling and stuff, you can just ask ChatGPT to help you make a schedule. And just plug in all the names you have, all the shifts you need. Here's a prompt here you can use, you can see it on my screen. Create a 24-hour blah blah blah. You can plug that in if you want. Give them the details you need, and it's going to go away. It's going to give you, this is our schedule from a few weeks ago. It's going to give you a schedule like this. And with this sort of bullshit admin task, it's going to save you, let's say you spent half an hour doing this, this would take 5 minutes with ChatGPT. So you've saved a bunch of time, you didn't need to pay anyone to do it. And it's just way faster, way better. So all these methods, except for the AI model one, we're not using that, but there's a bunch of proof that it does work. You can literally see by the creator I showed before. People are printing with this method. It definitely is a good method. We should probably get into it. But yeah, I hope you try some of these out. Hope you found them helpful. If you want access to this document I've used in the video, just go to our free Telegram or our free Discord in the link in my description.